Hi, everyone. This is Archangel. Oh, I get it. Males want to deny gynocentric truths because it would shatter their world, their beliefs, their social paradigms. Indeed, their very identities would be fatally compromised if they were to see male devaluation and disposability for what they really are: stark truths. So, most males will deny male expendability in favor of the man-up worldview, where males just need to suck it up and get in line for the slaughterhouse. So what? You have to serve and die. That's just life. Deal with it. At least you get to look at artificially colored females as you do. Yet, among the males that do recognize female malice and indifference, those who are aware of gynocentrism and male devaluation, well, there are two veins. You either ignore these things and continue to interact with the Harley Quinns, or you don't. You can either completely eschew male devaluing institutions, which includes, but is not limited to, marriage, romantic affiliation, procreation, sexual relations, as well as societies, cultures, and governments, which sequester female elevation at the cost of male devaluation. Or you can pretend that most of the world sucks for males. But there is a secret cache of females and informed people that actually care about male welfare. Thus, when you see male disposability, you either embrace purple philosophy, which pretends that there is unicorns and justice somewhere out there for males, or you join the other red pill males who know there is no justice within a broken, corrupt system. Males who resign themselves to the reality of gynocentrism. Males who understand that, at present, everything is toxic to male welfare. So, you either ignore male devaluation and continue your man-up, female-worshipping slave status, or you see male expendability and pretend that male worth can be salvaged within gynocentric constructs. Or, you see male disposability and withdraw from the slaughter. That's it. All males fall into one of these categories. Still, humans do not like limitations. Humans are crafty and ever searching for ways that they can have their cake and eat it too. Especially red pillers. They know that they cannot unsee the predation upon their sex. Yet all red pillers were once blue pill, and they remember how intoxicating female interaction used to be. And they will tuck these memories away for a little while. Then, after some time, many reach a point where they want to feel that rush again. They want to taste the romantic drug highs without placing themselves in harm's way, because they know all too well the costs of dealing with females intimately. These restless males know females are self-centered and malicious, yet they miss that luxurious chemical rush of drugs from their own brain. The excitement, the euphoria, the increased heartbeat, the adrenaline and excitement they used to receive when they chased and messed with females. This is a quandary. How to have the best of both worlds? Some males simply call it what it is, and occasionally engage the services of a prostitute. Yet, access to legitimate, hygienically clean, legalized prostitution is hard to come by. Hence, I have begun to notice many males coming to another alternative. They reason that they will not get into a relationship with a female, nor even have sex with them, but they will flirt with them and play the male-female sexual tension game to receive the rush of chemical high that accompanies female interaction and conversational flirtation. This is made possible because, well, you see, just looking at an attractive female and conversing with her, or making her laugh and getting her to flirt back, this interaction releases gratuitous amounts of feel-good chemicals in the body, without even touching. So, since guys are after that taste of chemical high without the side effects of STDs, false rape allegations, or financial slavery, all of which happens when guys get all excited and take a little flirtation all the way to ejaculation. Hence, many red pillers turn to flirtation, since they know that relationships and even sexual congress with females is a no bueno. However, they can still receive 75% of that rush just through flirtation with females. And so many awakened males will flirt with females and give them that extra second of eye contact or that lingering ear-to-ear smile. They will lose themselves in flirtation because they miss the excitement and chemical nirvana of courtship rituals. Hey, I understand. When a female displays flirtatious behavior towards you, it feels good. And even in tempered MGTOW, catching the eye of a hot chick awakens sensations of courtship hormone highs that have long been closed for business. Now, this applies basically to the bored and restless red pillars. Blue and purple pillars, they don't even try to hide their addiction to female salvation. They are publicly servicing females and having full outright sex and relationships with them. They are not trying to have their cake, they are too busy eating every last crumb they can find. However, the true red pillars cannot pretend naivete. They know female nature and species gynocentrism. They simply want that little taste, that little nitrous shot of courtship chemicals every once in a while because, well, it was fun. And thus, many males figure that as long as they do not indulge physical or sexual congress with any female, they can still flirt and get that temporary vacation, that occasional rush of euphoria that comes from interactions with beautiful people. I have watched guys who were awakened, males who were MGTOW for all intents and purposes, who lit up from female attention like a child on Christmas Eve. They apparently forgot how chemically intoxicating flirtation and interaction was. It's not hard to understand. It feels good to be desired. But what is actually being desired here? The blue and purple pillars will think that females flirt because they desire the male as a person. The red pillars observe that a female flirts because she wants something from the flirtee. Whether it be money, protection, a door held open, or perhaps she simply uses the male for attention to boost her own ego and narcissism. Understanding the motivations of male-female relations is what separates the awakened from the unconscious. No matter how many feel-good chemicals accompany flirtation and female interaction, the dancing of the sexes is still, and always has been, a game of manipulation. Females want protection and provision from males, and males want attention and validation from females. Let's think about that. Feel-good chemicals are released when the sexes interact in order to precipitate interaction and ultimately sexual relations for procreative purposes, since, well, humans follow that which feels good. Yet, there is a clue there, that we have to release a chemical cascade of drugs in our heads in order to cause interaction between sexes that might not otherwise interact if they were totally sober. Let that one sink in. If one sex knew the prejudicial manipulations of the other sex, and there was no serotonin or dopamine or adrenaline or endorphins or heart palpitations or sexual excitation that happened when we were around each other, do you think that we would interact nearly as much as we do? So, apparently, nature, or a grander creator, decided to release all these feel-good chemicals in order to trick humans into mingling with each other. That right there says something. When you have to dress up and trick folks into interacting with drugs and adrenaline. It's like we are literally put under a spell, turned into unrecognizable beings as we chase, court, and sexually indulge. Then, when the spell wears off and all is laid bare the next morning, or at the end of a relationship, or all the way to divorce court, it's like dancing on the tables in Vegas when you were completely high, then seeing your drunken actions the next day on Facebook and getting a bill from the casino bar for damages, and you're just sitting there thinking, what the hell happened? Still, the spell is intense, and that intoxicating spell is what people chase. And some awakened males have no intention of entering relationships or dating or even having sex with females, but they miss that chemical excitement. So after some introspection, some come to realize that they can get a lesser, albeit safer, rush if they simply, gratuitously, and overtly flirt with females, where they will get that excitement from her romantic attention and the ego boost from being desired, and when her witch jumps out of the bag, he can sit back and congratulate himself that he is not interpersonally intertwined with any of these parasites. It seems win-win, right? Most of the excitement, none of the traditional risk. And really, carefree flirting is not such a foreign concept. Married people do it all the time. Shackled males will flirt with other females to get that rush of interaction with an attractive, unfamiliar female. Just today, I watched this in action. A married male was talking with a married female, freely and openly chatting her up. Then her husband comes up, and this married male continues chatting her up while making them both laugh, and just being generally outgoing and engaging and humorous to this couple. And as I watched, I saw that this guy was flirting in plain sight, even making the chick's husband laugh, which probably disarmed him to the fact that this guy was flirting with this attractive chick and was receiving an endorphin rush from this interaction, where he could really look at her face and drink in her beauty without subterfuge, as he talked to her about nonsensical life annoyances. And he got an ego boost, no doubt, from making her smile and laugh at his banter. Ultimately, he was getting a chemical high from interacting with her, even in the presence of her husband, and he never had to touch her. I have seen unavailable members of both sexes do this very thing. They get chemical highs from flirtatious mingling with the opposite sex without even touching them. Guys get a rush from chatting up an attractive female, and females get that excitement from having guys flirt with them. Females thrive off ego boost, the rush of knowing that guys desire them. In fact, females absolutely love this hands-free form of sexual courtship, where you flirt and get the chemical high from mingling, the tensions of male and female sexual energies, yet you never have to do anything about it. Females have admitted this to me many, many times. They love to tease, to suggest and lead males on, and never deliver any physical remedy. You can see this everywhere. Females love to flirt and have harems of guy friends who they hook with flirtation and lead these guys on for their utility or attention, and when one or more guys pushes for more, she will then relegate him to the friend zone. Females love flirtation as the preferred form of receiving their courtship chemical fix, an ego boost, because they can flirt like crazy and talk mad loads of bull, and they never have to prove any of it. They get guys all worked up and insinuate how much of an angel she is in a relationship, or how much of a goddess she is in bed, and she doesn't have to prove any of it because she is unavailable. And driving the males she flirts with crazy gives her physical pleasure. Females derive physical pleasure from tormenting males, especially sexually. They love it. They get physical pleasure and adrenaline rushes from tormenting males that desire and pursue them. They get to pretend that they are Aphrodites, and luckily the males they flirt with will never know the truth, that these females that pretend that they are goddesses, well, they are about as adventurous as a straitjacket, with a snatch as tight as a burlap sack of potatoes. Flirtation between the sexes is much like internet personas. You can be anything or anyone that you want, and nobody will be the wiser. Likewise, when people flirt with other people who have no intention of taking it any further than flirting or teasing, they can do or say or be whoever they want, and never have to prove anything. So guys flirting with females just to get that attention rush is a way to receive drug fixes without having to endure the collateral damage precipitated by females. Empty life, empty wallet, empty house, empty heart, empty chamber after you put it against your head and pull the trigger. You know, the usual effects females have on males. Essentially, flirtation is like red pill strip clubs, where guys go and get physically aroused. They get that rush of chemicals and that ego boost of being a man, yet they are not allowed to touch the females. Now, merely dress those pole-swinging females in clothes and remove them to the office or the gas station or the grocery store, and the female attention males get is nearly as intoxicating as it was in that dungeon of torture known as the local strip joint. Males get physical reward from interacting with pretty females, and many an awakened male misses the chemical rush but does not miss the mutilation of worth and misery that accompanies females. However, there is a danger. You see, I remember a ploy that some teens would use on others who were reluctant to have intercourse. They would say, "We don't have to have sex, let's just stick in the tip just for a second." But everybody knew that getting the tip in was like a foot in the door, and when the feel-good sensations took over, they would be unable to stop themselves. Likewise, males that flirt with females and play the flirtatious game or sexed different females. They are rolling the dice, playing the odds that they can shut everything down after just 1 second of the tip only. Obviously, everyone is uteroholic, meaning that when we are around uteruses, we can't help ourselves. We suddenly become compliant doormats who go full-blown simp while we chase our high through females. Oh sure, it starts off with a little flirting, a little harmless commingling, and then a little more. And just a little more, maybe a little touching, then a little dating, then blammo. They are gynocentric tools once again, wondering how they got there. It's like an alcoholic saying, I will just go to the bar and smell the drinks, or maybe put just the tip of my tongue in a glass of whiskey just for a second. Then, an unspecified number of bottles and days later, you find yourself naked in the trunk of some car with a rubber chicken tied around your neck, having no idea what happened or what kind of crap you have landed in. Chasing drug highs through females via hands-free flirtation, or whether taken all the way to sexual relations, means that you must appease the gatekeepers. And the gatekeepers here are females. So no matter what you desire from female interaction, you begin altering your behavior to placate the gatekeepers in order to get your fix. And when one placates the other has the power. And B, when you are awakened, you have no need for strip clubs or flirtation or any type of romantic teasing, because you understand that it leads to either a place of torment with no release, or it leads to a full-blown relapse into female servitude, when you can no longer take the teasing, when just the tip, just for a second, no longer pacifies. Gentlemen, you want to play make-believe games? Fine, but do not fool yourself. There is either having your cake pretty on the table to look at, or there is cutting it up and devouring it. There is no Schrodinger's cake, where the cake exists simultaneously pretty and untouched, as well as eaten at the same time. Friends, be careful when you think that you can occasionally taste courtship chemical highs every once in a while, every other weekend. And I will leave you some prudent words passed down to me from wise males. First, get your adrenaline from fast motorcycles, not fast women. And finally, sex is so overrated, while a good bowel movement is so underrated. Yep, my friends, stand with me, live free.